The book of Jeremiah, I'm still gathering the courage to go through this book and finish it. Every time I read it, I feel a deep sense of terror. When I got to chapter 6, it reminded me of a dream I had before. What I read in Jeremiah 6 was exactly what I saw in that dream. I began to wonder if this is the reason I feel such a strong urge to study this book. It's been one of the hardest things for me to do. Today, I was reminded of the book of Jeremiah again. Out of curiosity, I decided to dig into it a bit more. I came across a verse in chapter 6 that has always stood out to me, and I decided to post it on my WhatsApp status. Posting it wasn't easy, because every time I try to read this book, I'm overcome with trembling and fear. That same terror stirred inside me again, but I posted it anyway, because I truly love that part. One of the verses I posted was Jeremiah 6:14. They dress the wound of my people with very little care, saying, "Peace, peace," when there is no peace. What I didn't know was that my little brother had also posted a status that caught my attention. In his post, the speaker quoted from Jeremiah 28. As always, I didn't take this as a coincidence. I listened to the clip, and what it said really struck me.
Everybody is not a prophet. Many claim it, but everybody is not it. A prophet is not just another motivational speaker. A prophet is not just a life coach. A prophet is not just a preacher. A prophet is an officer of the government of God, the kingdom. We don't just prophesy. We execute divine orders. Yet today, everybody so casually claims to be one. Throughout scriptures, prophets were more than messengers. They were divine enforcers. And when Elijah spoke, the heavens shut. When Elisha cursed, bears came out of the woods. When Samuel anointed, kings were established. The words of God's prophets are not suggestions. They are decrees that are backed by heaven itself. The host of heaven, angels move at the command of God's prophets because they do not speak of their own will or of their own authority. They legislate on behalf of the king. This is why impersonating a prophet is one of the most dangerous things a person can do. In the natural, impersonating a government officer is a federal crime. And in the spirit, it's an act of high treason against the throne of God. Ask Hananiah in Jeremiah 28, taking on and presuming an authority that had not been given to him. False prophets don't just mislead people. They provoke the judgment of God. And the church today has made the office of the prophet overly common while simultaneously marginalizing and ostracizing those who are genuinely called to be a prophet. Everybody claims to be one, but heaven does not recognize self-appointments. The true prophet of God carries the burden of God's will, the weight of intercession, and the responsibility of delivering words that shape destinies. This is not a game. This is not about fame. This is not about building a personal platform. When a true prophet speaks, realms shift, kingdoms shake, and heaven responds. The prophetic is sacred. It is governmental. It is holy. And if God has not called you to the office of the prophet, stop claiming it. And if he has, there will be evidence, a battery of gifts and graces, supernatural enablements and ability, and a specified metron. And if he has called you to it, walk in fear and trembling, because there's a high standard to walk as an officer of the kingdom of God.